Wednesday, August the 31st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Final day here in the month of August. Hard to believe August already drawing to a close, but here we are. There's a look this morning from the Avalon Pier web camera where Tropical Depression number 8 is now kind of making its closest pass to the Outer Banks and beginning to pull out to sea this morning. As expected, just kind of a glancing blow, 78 degrees. The temperature there at Kill Devil Hills, north-northeast wind at 5. And I'll give you the full tropical update in about 1 minute or less here, so stick around. 95, the high temperature yesterday in Birmingham, 94 in Jackson, Mississippi for the high, 98 in Memphis, Charleston, West Virginia, 92. A lot of us around 90 or so across the Carolinas. 92 in Raleigh, 93 in Fayetteville. It was 90 here in Greensboro, 92 in Burlington, 89 in Winston-Salem and Lexington. Charlotte viewing area, low 90s in most spots, even up to 94 yesterday afternoon in Gastonia. Temperatures during the 5 o'clock hour this morning, it's warm, a lot of 70s on the board, some 60s in the mountains. Dew point temperatures fairly high. It's a fairly muggy weather setup out there across the region. All right, let's look at the radar this morning. Pretty quiet locally, but there goes Tropical Depression 8 pulling away from the Outer Banks. And another area of low pressure off the Georgia coast causing some rain. It is going to spread some rain up here through coastal parts of the Carolinas today. And you'll see that in more detail in just a second. All right, so let's talk about the tropics. The latest advisories are in, the 5 a.m. advisories. Well, hang on. Here we go. There's the broad view across the Atlantic Basin. Gaston, look at that. What a textbook hurricane. Gaston was able to acquire major hurricane status once again. And look at that. That is a beautiful picture out there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Tropical Depression number 8, again, making its closest pass to the Outer Banks early this morning. Still not a terribly healthy looking tropical depression. Winds sustained at 35 miles per hour, 75 miles east-southeast of Cape Hatteras, and there it goes out to sea. Probably becomes a tropical storm today, but it'll be basically over the open waters of the North Atlantic. Now, Tropical Depression number 9. You're going to be hearing more about that in coming days. That's down to the Gulf of Mexico. It, too, likely to soon become a tropical storm, but as I cut this video, it is still a tropical depression. Again, 35-mile-per-hour sustained winds, 400 miles or so off the Florida coast. And moving north at 2, this is going to continue to make that northeast turn, probably heading to the Florida Panhandle coast late Thursday. And then from there up very close to the Carolina coast Friday. And notice the strength here. Hurricane Center takes this up to almost hurricane intensity as it moves up the Carolina coast. I'll show you some of the detailed modeling in just a moment. Accordingly, now you have a tropical storm warning in effect, basically from Panama City to the northern areas north of Tampa. So a lot of the Florida Gulf Coast covered in a tropical storm warning now. And earlier there were some hurricane watches in effect. I have not seen with this latest advisory yet if they're still in effect, but either way, there's a chance this could become a minor hurricane as it moves northwards. Let me show you some of the more detailed modeling with this. Here's the steering currents. There's the tropical depression down to the Gulf of Mexico. Big trough diving into the eastern part of the country. That's going to continue to collect this system and lift it to the northeast. All right, and so the result will be that continued northeasterly motion. Let me show you the Canadian model. So there's the model with the landfall in Florida Thursday. From there, it continues moving northeast, and the Canadian remains basically the furthest inland model, and you get a lot of rain in the interior Carolinas as this tropical system interacts with that incoming trough. So this is Friday morning, that is Friday evening, and then out it goes from there, and then down to the end of the run. You see the bottom part of your screen there, South Florida. This is next Friday, the next tropical system moving in. Now, I want to show you this. This is the last 4 runs of the Canadian model valid Friday afternoon. So you see it's bounced around, but finally it's got the timing down more in line with the other models with this most recent run. It's just further inland than a lot of the other models. Let me show you the European model. There's landfall for the European on Thursday, late in the day in Florida. And there goes northeast. And you notice some of that rain pretty far into the Carolinas. So with today's forecast package, rather, I have gone ahead and mentioned more of a cloudy scenario for Friday with some rain opportunities back into the Piedmont zones. But then this gets out of the way. There goes Saturday morning. Certainly a squally go of it Friday and Friday night for the Outer Banks, but then that'll leave, and the rest of the holiday weekend looks fantastic. A couple other models. This is the NavGem model. It's about the furthest west with its initial Florida landfall. And then there it goes, lifting northeast into the coastal plain of South Carolina. That'd be a rainy scenario for a lot of the Carolinas Friday with that one as well. Finally, here's a look at the Hurricane Wharf. Landfall coming for the Big Bend region as a tropical storm on that model for Florida. And then up it goes from there. That's the Hurricane Wharf, valid 63 hours from now, just off the South Carolina coast. And finally, the GFDL. There's, again, it heading toward Florida as a tropical storm and then lifting up near the South Carolina coast thereafter. This probably will stay a tropical storm. Can't rule out it making up to weak hurricane intensity prior to its Florida landfall, or maybe as it lifts up near the Carolina coast if it's offshore. We'll see. So, I'll just say this. If you have plans for the holiday weekend along the Carolina coast, again, I think this is going to be gone by Saturday, at least by Saturday afternoon. But Friday could be pretty rough for the Carolina coast. I don't think we're looking at a major devastating type of tropical system, but certainly could cause some pretty adverse weather up and down the coast for Friday and Friday night, maybe lingering into Saturday morning. Let me show you the GFS model here. Now, here's what it looks like for today. Again, there's that secondary low pressure that I mentioned near the Georgia and South Carolina coast. And as we get into tomorrow, this is the Gulf of Mexico tropical system approaching Florida. Cold front moving in. Scattered thunderstorms a possibility for many of us tomorrow afternoon. And then this is Friday morning around daybreak, the center of that tropical system just inland off the Georgia coast. By Friday evening, it's near Wilmington, just off the coast of Wilmington. And then from there, it's departing Saturday morning. This is daybreak Saturday. And then Saturday evening, there it goes. It's gone. So we are in really good shape thereafter. The weekend, the holiday weekend, just looks great. Sunshine, I think, basically in full force Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. With temperatures Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, low and mid 80s for highs, upper 50s and lower 60s for a lot of our lows, and fairly low levels of humidity, so looking good. Here's what it looks like on the surface map today. Again, there's your coastal showers. Highs today across the region. Well, first of all, there's your high-resolution modeling showing you that rain mainly focused along the coast and some scattered storms in the mountains. All right, there's your highs for this Wednesday afternoon. Tomorrow, the cold front drops into the region. There's your scattering of thunderstorms as a possibility. Thursday highs look like that. And then on Friday, it all depends on the track of the system. The RPM wants to keep most of the rain confined to the coast, but again, the European model does bring some of that rain pretty far inland Friday. And so I've leaned my forecast into that more pessimistic direction for Friday and held temperatures down accordingly across the region on Friday. And again, though, the weekend, the holiday weekend, looks absolutely fabulous. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.